Hello everyone, I've got a big announcement this week. I'm going to be launching a new project on Kickstarter. I didn't really talk about it at all so far, but I actually fell deeply in love with Animal Crossing earlier this year. So I've been actually planning this project for a few months now, and I'm so happy to be finally able to share it with you here today. There's 27 designs in total and everything is already in production, so whether this project gets funded or not, it's going to happen either way. The project will run on Kickstarter from sometime this week whenever the project gets approved until November 8th, and all orders will come in a little pouch like this, kind of like the little wrapped gifts that you get in the game. And you'll also get some collectible cards for you to collect stickers on. Then you can track what you've collected so far. In my last video, I talked about starting my Patreon art and sticker club. For the month of November, I've created a cozy fall art print, sticker sheet, and printable calendar. If you're interested in receiving any of these, please go check out my Patreon page and pledge before the end of October. This week, I wanted to share with you some of the behind the scenes of my Kickstarter project. Let's go! I was actually originally designing a completely different Animal Crossing inspired collection in the beginning, but I ended up changing my mind to create these instead. One of my favorite things about the Animal Crossing game, apart from decorating my island and dressing up for nothing, is meeting all the new critters in the game. All the different bugs and sea creatures that come with each season, and the way some of them are more rare and harder to find makes it so freaking exciting. I still remember when I caught the sunfish. It was so big and cute I couldn't stop laughing. I just kept taking it in and out of my pocket because it was so funny that a giant fish like that can fit in there. So for this series, I decided to share some of my favorite animals from the game. Some common, some rare. The interesting thing about this series is that rather than designing enamel pins like I usually do, I've decided to do embroidery pins. I've actually been thinking about embroidery pins for some time now. During my last trip to Taiwan, I had bought a bunch to use as references. I'm so inspired by Taiwanese artists like Littlework, Loopy, and Johan because they're so cool. The main difference between designing enamel pins and embroidery pins is that for enamel pins, you'd have to put every color within its own container. This creates space for the technicians to fill in the colors. But for embroidery, it's more about different types of stitches that you can do and creating texture. I had so much fun designing these, and I honestly can't wait to make more. But there are also other things I want to try creating, so I do intend to venture out of the pin world for my next project. This is kind of a weird fact, but I almost never drink coffee or anything that's super caffeinated because I'm quite sensitive to caffeine. Anyway, there was this one day where my husband bought me a milk tea, and I really wanted to drink it, so I just went ahead and drank it all. Needless to say, I was up all night until 7 a.m. I think it was after rolling around in bed, struggling for a few hours before I got up around 1 a.m. and started drawing these on my couch. This was just a draft, so I still had things to clean up on the computer, but it was so satisfying to be able to do so much in one night despite how extremely tired I was the next day. Once I had all the sketches done, I vectorized everything in Illustrator to clean up my shapes. I made some of the creatures slightly asymmetrical to make them look a bit more organic. Vectorizing things is something I really enjoy doing. I usually put on an audiobook or listen to Radiolab while I do it. It's kind of therapeutic. I remember that this used to be such a struggle for me. When I was in art school, the pen tool was so difficult to use. I hated it, but after using it for so many years, it's become so much easier, and it's actually useful for so many things. After everything was vectorized, I matched all my colors to the thread colors that my manufacturer sent me, and we started on creating the samples. There were a couple of things that needed changing, but once we revised everything, the project was ready for production. This was the first step towards launching the project. The next thing on my list was packaging. Since the shapes for all the pins were so different, a backing card didn't really feel like the right solution. This is when I decided to go with the gift bag idea so that when people open their package, it'll feel like they're opening a little pouch of everything they've caught so far. I had to settle on a color for the bag and ribbon because the minimum order quantity for these were quite high, and the manufacturer didn't allow ordering multiple colors within one order. Since there are so many colors of gift wrap available in the game, I wasn't really sure what to pick. But in the end, I chose pink bags and red ribbons, so hopefully this is a color everyone will be happy with. Of course, I couldn't really just stop there. Simply putting the pins in a bag didn't feel right. I wanted there to be a collectible element to it, since there were so many designs in the series. So I decided to create little art prints that doubled as stamp cards. I think it would have been really cool to make actual stamps for these, but since the cards will be sent out to Kickstarter backers, and they might continue to grow their collection in the future, stickers seemed to make more sense, so I did stickers instead. The plan for these cards is to switch up the design for the art print side every now and then so that the cards themselves will also be collectible. This way, if I continue to expand on the collections of animals, anyone whose cards are full can continue collecting on a brand new card. This was so much fun to do. I personally love collecting things, so I really hope this makes the whole experience more fun for everyone. Thank you so much for coming to work with me today. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you made it till the end, please like this video as it tells YouTube to share my video with more people. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come join my YouTube family. I'm creating weekly art content for you to enjoy, so please subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see y'all next week.